So, today's story unfolds a forest safari in the central zone of Kaziranga National Park in Assam. This episode gets us deeper into not just rhinos and wild buffaloes, but also exotic species like hornbills and other birds and animals that are rarely seen in our places. It contrasts with the previous story that focused on the western zone safari, highlighting experiences such as observing rhinoceros, elephants by the river, glimpse of the forest, then returning to the room for rest, and being picked up by a jeep. When comparing the animal sighting experiences between two zones in Kaziranga, both offer equal opportunities at 50-50 chances. However, the central zone presents a slightly higher likelihood of encountering a diverse array of wildlife. As we ventured into the forest, our first encounter was with a group of rhinoceros, approximately 3 to 4 of them, peacefully grazing on the lush green grasses of summer. Close to the rhinos, there were these magnificent creatures called the barasinghas, also known as swamp deer, classified under the yellow category by the IUCN. There's a slight risk of them becoming endangered. The IUCN stands for the International Union for Conservation of Nature. It is responsible for conducting global animal and creature census, categorizing them based on their likelihood of becoming endangered. Those in the red list are at high risk. Along the roadside, we spotted a wild water buffalo. Near to it laid a deceased buffalo as well. Vultures and crows were scavenging on the remains of that dead buffalo. Although we initially spotted only one buffalo, later on we noticed 3 other partly submerged in the water. Over a time, few more water buffaloes emerged outside. These wild water buffaloes are classified under the orange category by the IUCN. Besides rhinos and water buffaloes, Kaziranga's main attraction include various crane species and other water birds as well. One notable bird we observed was the spot-billed pelican, swimming gracefully from the back. It's the smallest bird among the pelican species. Next to the deceased buffalo, a tree hosted a gathering of vultures and cranes, particularly Indian vultures. These trees belong to the red cotton species, and there are several of them in this area. Let's go deeper into the history of Kaziranga National Park. Even during the British era, Kaziranga renowned for its large population of rhinoceros. In 1904, the wife of the Indian viceroy visited Kaziranga, but could not spot a single rhinoceros due to the immense hunting. Upon her return, she urged her husband to prohibit the rhino hunting. Consequently, on June 1, 1905, Kaziranga was designated as a reserve forest with a ban on rhino hunting. After India gained independence, Kaziranga was declared a national park in 1974, with conservation efforts aimed at preserving its forest ecosystem. In 1985, Kaziranga earned the UNESCO World Heritage status, becoming one of the India's 7 natural heritage sites. Additionally, Kaziranga is a tiger reserve, receiving this designation in 2006. While rhinoceros sightings are common in Kaziranga, spotting tigers is less frequent. This is not because of their scarcity, but due to their hiding in the tall grasses. The central zone is where rare golden tigers have been observed. During our slow drive through the forest, we noticed a creature on the grasslands behind the trees. Even the deer seemed unsure about its identity. It turned out to be a Chinese ferret badger, typically found in China but also seen in Assam and Arunachal Pradesh in India. Despite their cute appearance, these creatures emit an unpleasant odor. Kaziranga is intertwined with the Brahmaputra river, originating from the snowy reaches of Arunachal Pradesh. During the monsoon, the river flows immensely, often causing floods that endanger wildlife like rhinos. In 2012, around 13 rhinos and several other animals perished in the floods. To resolve this, the Forest Department constructed an elevated mud platforms where animals can seek refuge during heavy rains and floods. This is a crested serpent eagle, although its coloration is different from the usual serpent eagles we encounter. With Kaziranga's status as a World Heritage Site, it attracts more foreign visitors than domestic ones. India is indeed the best place to observe one-horned rhinoceros, considering 70% of the world's population of these rhinos resides here. Take a look at that one-horned rhino over there. Observe the rhino resting by the river in the afternoon. Nearby, there are two Asian small otters, which can be seen along with the 3-4 hog deer resting in the vicinity. When Kaziranga was declared a reserve forest in 1904, it spanned only 232 square kilometers. Over the years, additional lands have been added, expanding its area to 1090 square kilometers, making it the largest national park in Assam. And the state animal of Assam is the rhinoceros. Notice the red jungle fowl nearby, foraging in the soil. These birds are commonly found in India, Nepal and Bangladesh. With the 14 tail feathers, the two top feathers being slightly longer. As we transition from the swamps and wet mud areas to the tree-filled and semi-dry regions, the forest becomes denser compared to the western zone. While open grasslands typically offer more animal sightings, there's still a chance of encountering elephants and other wildlife in these wooded areas. As we traveled slowly, we spotted a monitor lizard resting on a tree, likely in its habitat. Although animal sightings are more common in open grasslands, we came across a great Indian hornbill perched on a tree bark. This bird is rarely seen in Kaziranga. It is a state bird of Kerala and Arunachal Pradesh. The male and female hornbills differ in appearance. The female has white eyes with black eyeballs, and also its crest is completely yellow in color. So this is the male hornbill with red eyes and black eyeball. Also there is a black colored shade on its crest. These hornbills are seen in northeastern regions of India and also in some parts of Kerala. This is the sound of the great Indian hornbill. These sounds are louder and can be heard up to 2 kilometers. There are more than 5 types of hornbills in India, and this is the biggest one. These great Indian hornbills are usually scared of humans. They normally fly away when we approach them. The northeastern region of India, close to Himalayas and the Brahmaputra river, offers the sightings of various animals uncommon in southern India, thanks to its diverse habitat and proximity to these natural features. The notable wildlife of Kaziranga, including the rhinoceros, the wild water buffaloes, the tigers, the elephants, and the barasingas, are often referred to as the Big Five of the park. As we proceeded, we arrived at a riverside within the Central Zone Safari area, where 2 rivers branch off the Brahmaputra river. Did you spot the small turtles perching on the wooden branch in the river? These are Assam roofed turtles, primarily found in Assam and currently categorized as endangered by the IUCN due to threats like hunting for meat and eggs, as well as being kept as pets. Notice the turtle in the back attempting to bite its companion's shell. These turtles display their age through the external growth on their shells. These turtles are typically shy, retreating into the water upon hearing noises. The driver mentioned the possibility of rising water levels reaching the banks. Look at the Asian water monitor resting on a dry tree branch nearby. These creatures are rarely seen outside water bodies and feed on fish, frogs, snakes, and other bird eggs. There was a controversial incident in Kaziranga in 2017, with reports of rhino hunting being killed in the forest, resulting in nearly 20 casualties. The BBC aired a documentary on this issue, but India denied the news and imposed a 5-year ban on the BBC journalists from all national parks. Over there's an Indian vulture nest atop a large tree nearby, with a baby vulture inside. Kaziranga once had 7 vulture species, but now only 3 remain common, including Indian vultures and white-rimmed vultures. This area features watchtowers similar to this one in both western and central zones, with restroom facilities available. For those planning to visit Kaziranga, it's advisable to avoid the rainy season when many areas may be submerged underwater. January is recommended for a visit, offering a balance of greenery and also wildlife sightings. While January to February can be chilly, April to May brings hotter temperatures, causing animals to gather around remaining water bodies for their respite. Since some areas are swamps, even in April, these spots won't be completely dry, maintaining a level of greenery. The recent census revealed 2,613 rhinos in Kaziranga National Park, a notable increase from the 2,041 rhinos counted in 2015. This count includes rhinos solely within Kaziranga, with additional rhino population in other reserve forests of Assam. Rhinos typically weigh around 2 tons for male adults and 1.5 tons for females. With thick skin devoid of hair, their horns grow with age, and unlike elephants, they prefer solitary living rather than herding. Baby rhinos stay with their mothers until adulthood, after which they roam alone. Pregnancy lasts for about 1.5 years for female rhinos, who give birth to only one baby at a time. The calf stays with its mother for about 2 years before becoming independent, with a lifespan of approximately 45 years. Rhino dung resembles the elephant dung, and their footprints are also similar to those of elephants. Compared to the western zone, this area is vast and expansive, with a safari route similar to the western zones, offering chances of tiger sightings, especially near grassland crossings. During our safari, an elephant family crossed our path, led by a stern-looking adult. The elephants passed by peacefully, signifying the end of our safari. After lunch at the resort, we embarked on another safari, joining other jeeps. We witnessed a baby tusker elephant cautiously emerging from the grass and trying to cross the road. Elephants are generally calm around human visitors, having grown accustomed to their presence. Observing the hoopoe, resembling a woodpecker but unrelated to its species, add to our wildlife encounters. These birds, known for their distinctive sound, are Israel's national bird and are found worldwide. Our journey from Guwahati Airport was straightforward thanks to the single 4-lane highway leading directly to the western zone gate of Kaziranga. The drive typically takes around 4 to 4.5 hours on this well-marked national highway. Now turning to the trip's expenses. This is 1 week northeast package provided by Tripuntold, and the total cost inclusive of the stay and the car rent is 17,000 per head. They also have available packages that provide a dedicated taxi instead of a self-drive car, or customized packages that add places of interest. I will provide the details in the description box below. See the spot-built pelican again. We can see many types of birds in Kaziranga Safari. as the main food is fish, it will be in the water most of its time. Observing the bar-headed goose, we note their presence in swamped areas and their ability to fly at a considerable height compared to other goose. And for this video, I have used the Nikon Z7 and 600mm prime lens. I have also made use of the Nikon Z30 and GoPro 9 as well. I always mention the camera and lens details of the video in the description box for your reference. In the western zone, hog deer were prevalent, while the central zone boasted numerous barrasingas. Rhinos were grazing in one area, while a wild water buffalo rested alone in another. As our safari concludes around 4:45 p.m., the sun starts to set already, casting a radiant glow of red color on the river. We must exit the gates by 5 p.m. Tomorrow morning, we'll be heading back to Meghalaya. Until the next story, bye-bye.